Welcome to Our Energy Matters with Anthony Manna and Dena Marie. Aloha.
Aloha. Yes, here we are. Another session of sharing our understandings. Let me put it that way. And the piece that I wrote today also talks about my search for a chakra to heal myself as a writer. And I'm going to ask you to take over at some point, Dena Marie, because the chakras are the territory in which you manifest so many people's goodness and healing. So, and that's what we're about. So we've been meeting now. This is our 28th session. And I think we skipped one at some point because we just ran into problems with time, but pretty much consistent. And we started, and I meant to put this over here. We started with an interview on your radio show, Lift Your Spirits. You invited me to talk to you about Loukas and the game of chance, ages 9, 8, 9, etc., up into adolescence. A story of salvation, redemption. And we talked about that on your show. And then all of a sudden I realized somehow you mentioned in passing that you have a book. And I thought, oh, let me take a look, and it's been a revelation after a revelation about processes, content that I really knew very, very little about. Me, a retired university professor. Aren't I supposed to know everything? I can't believe I said that.
Yeah.
So here I am, and I can read to you this process that I went through. And I go, first of all, I want to say hola, greetings to our Brazilian listeners and viewers on this frigid, wintry day. And my title today is A Writer's Chakra Healing Grace. I take great joy in telling folks of all ages that I am an old guy still writing. On the best of my writing days, spirit wonder days, I call them, words, sentiments, expressions, relationships flow as in a gentle dream of ripened revelations, prompting me forward in the tempered heat of the moment. On regretful days, I flounder, wander aimlessly, lose my treasured awareness of mind, heart, speak, and distrust the rapture of pleasured images that hasten the way, the utter miraculous rendering of super sparked sight and sound and silence rendered in the tapestry of the world and its inhabitants. I am creating word by word, breath by breath in the tale that I am bringing to life. That has to be about the longest sentence in the history of humanity. The universal word used to describe the balked, stigmatized writer is the word stuck. No, I say, less stuck than apprehended by withering confidence, fear of failure, or heeding the echoing splintered judgments of negative critics, because that always happens. So of late, folks, when I lose my way in the dense labyrinthine forest of self-regret, I become one of Dena Marie's, Lady Grace's seekers, setting out to find solace, fulfillment, and yes, healing energy in her open-heartedness, touched, anointed by joyful mind and the enlightened soul self of crystal guides and chakra brightness, ever illuminated in the safe and revered pages of her book, Our Energy Matters, The Art of Crystal Reading, How to Manifest Your Heartfelt Intentions. There are passages, resolutions, decrees, and promises burnished by truth and meditation. It's one of the 7 chakra energies I search for to cure the restlessness, my gnawing malaise, my contaminated writer self. Lady Grace, Dena Marie, calls me to the life energies, the chakras, that flow down through the top of my head, that's the crown chakra, through the spine to the pelvic floor, that's the root chakra. She directs me to her book's chakra cheat sheet, where I am advised to place crystals on corresponding colors, all new to me, all new to me. And once there, but not so much anymore, once there, I spot chakra number 5, the throat chakra, because it says to express sound. So Dena Marie, my celestial alchemist, tell me, your seeker, why as a troubled writer, the throat chakra can offer me healing grace.
Well, we'll go back to when I did a reading with you probably a year ago. You were missing your throat and your power chakra. So your heart's open, but things were going on in the world and it stopped you from expressing yourself. You love to be in person and you like to work with children. And when I met you, we were both in the same space where we had to isolate. And so, of course, the first thing you would lose is your throat chakra and your power chakra because we felt powerless. Like I told you this morning in our conversation, I'm excited to get back to doing what I love to do. And that is community and expression, you know, whether it's the show, teaching a class, doing hands-on healing, but that whole community-based group, you were reading to children, you know, that lifted your spirits. And you said you used to do it in a circle with the kids and be creative and imaginative. And you and I were locked down where we couldn't do anything that our purpose or our passion. So of course, over time though, the beauty of our relationship is this stayed open because we started talking and then you started writing. Beautiful. Whatever you write now, I feel has been given from above and inspired from above, and it lifts my spirits. You helped me with your writing, keep my upper chakras open, and I'm still alive. I'm still here and I'm excited. But without your once a week conversation, the art of visiting, which is your throat chakra, I think we wouldn't be as well off as we are. I think it was a gift. We were given a gift, our friendship.
Absolutely. And of course we wouldn't be as well off as we are because I'm able to, I mean, the fact that I could write about this today, the fact that I could go to this, here's the cheat sheet that I love so much. And I think that, I think if you could also expound or describe or whatever, the blockages and your prescription. And also, all right, well, let's try that first, the blockages.
So for instance, if you are in a position where you go to work and you don't like your job, when you walk in the door, the first thing that's going to happen is your heart's going to close down a little bit. If your boss is bossy and he's micromanaging, you might shut your throat chakra, right? And maybe you don't like your job and you don't really want to see it anymore. So you shut the higher chakras, you just get the job done and you go home. If you were to walk in, for instance, like I love the gym right now and I see people talking to each other and working out, my heart opens wide up. And now every day I'm excited to get up and go to the gym early in the morning, in the dark, in the cold. But it's over time that we lose ourselves. And I think me not going to the gym, not seeing people socialize was killing me a little bit. So of course, I think my heart was closed because I was protecting it. And my feelings were hurt because I couldn't do the thing I came here to do, which was my healing work. So over time, I can feel my chakras starting to open as I get to go outside and be with other people, especially my family. But your chakras are blocked over something you do over time that does not feel good, something you don't want to see, something you don't want to do. And usually when you're powerless, you'll continue to do those things that block you, frustrate you, and make you feel low spirits. High spirits are when all your chakras are spinning. So yesterday at the beach, watching this beautiful sunset with birds all around me, I said, thank you, God. And I looked up and I felt like this whole world was just created for me because there was nobody else there but me and God, spirit. Yeah, but I've been changing my tune, right? I've been doing things I love to do again. I'm exercising, I'm getting up earlier. But when I got into low spirits, I was digging myself a hole with my thoughts. You know, I was focusing on everything broken and I was feeling blocked. So just by going to the gym now, by having our conversations, spending out, I wasn't even going to the beach for about a month. You know, those are things that keep my chakras open. So we have to do the things that bring us joy.
Yeah, and I think it's so important that for me, as a writer who runs into that trouble, I'm looking at the chakra cheat sheet, and you say, express yourself. This is the prescription, right? Express yourself through the arts. Sing, write only for yourself, and talk to people who will listen. You know, and that is definitely part of a cure, you know, and the idea of writing only for myself, because even though the story that I'm working on is, I will hope that it gets published somehow, somewhere, but I'm really writing it for myself. And I know that, you know, I'm present in it, and I'm like the director of the characters and of where they go and what they say and who they are and how they respond to one another. And so that is, that's healing. Very
Well,
much.
and when you were writing the writings that you do each week, you were again painting pictures for me. Like I could see myself at the beach. I could see some of the seekers that you're talking about. When you do that, when you paint a picture with the arts, right, and you're creating, you also give that gift to other people. So that's why I like being around artists and musicians. It keeps these chakras, which is, this is your inspiration, imagination, and creativity. And when you feel good, you get inspired from above, from something bigger than yourself, and your life becomes whimsical and magical and synchronistic. But we're in the lower chakras and we're doing things like, that job will pay my bills every Friday. I got enough to get by. And you think like that, you're limited. Money can come from anywhere, anytime, any place. And really, we don't even need as much money as they told us we did.
That's the truth. Yeah, that's really true.
Keeps you on the hamster wheel doing things you don't want to do, and eventually you're sick. And when you're sick, that's dis-ease and your chakras are blocked. If I go to a job where I cannot express myself and I feel like a peasant or lowly, I get sore throats. I never get them anymore, but I used to get them when I go to work and I want to ask for a day off. And that sounds silly, but why don't I just ask for a day off? Why do I feel like I can't ask for a day off?
Yeah,
I'm over that now, but I used to get sore throats thinking about it.
that's so important to me to hear, because I just had this conversation today, because this has been a very trying week for a number of different reasons. But one of the reasons is because we were going from appointment to appointment to appointment to appointment. And there was like, I was getting more and more depressed, really, you know, or down. I don't know what else to call it, you know, because I thought, why did we do this? Why didn't we stagger this a little bit so that we could have a little bit of downtime? You know, and I think the conversation is leading to that with my partner, that, you know, we're going to be more careful about being sure that, you know, whatever appointments we need to make for, you know, for protecting ourselves, or, you know, protecting our goods or whatever, that we do it in a more sensitive way, in a more humane way. And I think that that helps me, because then it's a choice that I'm making, which sounds very healthy.
And you set your intentions that we have, I would say less and less, how would I set it? Less and less mandatory dates. So, no, I would say it more in a way of, help me be more efficient with my time.
Yeah.
And just something basic like that, because that's the universe saying, oh, more efficient. Maybe you do 2 a day and take 3 or 4 days off. I don't know how it will work out, but we have to sit down and paint a picture for the universe, project what it is that we want. We want to simplify our lives.
True.
That's how I say it.
That's a good way to put it. And I think that, getting back to the word intention, I mean, you know, your title, the title of your book partially is, you know, realizing our heartfelt intentions. And I think that people who are listening to us and watching us should hear that that's one of your suggestions, recommendations, is that you think about your heartfelt intention each day. And I've been doing that in my meditation. And sometimes it's just wanting to be more loving kind, you know, this day, wanting to be more concerned about my own health. You
Or
know,
you said kind to yourself.
yeah, that's it. That's the word. Yeah, the kindness to myself, because that I like a lot, because it's like an umbrella, you know, that you put over yourself and just say, okay, I'm gonna be here, you know, looking out for myself. And I think that's really important. Then the other manifestation that you talk about is think of 5 whatevers to be thankful for. And just the other day, I thought of five luminaries, let me put it that way, in my life, who have helped me to grow, you know, and you being one of them, Thich Nhat Hanh, who just passed away, Pema Chodron, my urologist who saved my life, and there was one other one that I can't think of right now, but I mean, it just felt so good to acknowledge those people in my life who have been, you know, as I said, luminaries, which means they illuminate, you know, they awaken me to some very profound thinking about my place in the universe, you know.
And I want to say your partner, because we have our conversations, he always gives you like, come on, Anthony, you know better. Or he's kind of like my daughter. That's that sound advice that we get from them. It's very hard for me to reach out, but when I do, and my daughter says, Mom, there are more good times than bad. Why are you beating yourself up? That's what your partner does for you. Like he kind of reminds you what you already know, but we forgot. That's what our relationships are so important, because we get dark and we get into the mosh pit of our emotions and we can't see the light. But if we can just reach out to somebody that cares about us, they're going to give us a little pat on the back and send us on our way, you know?
That's right. Yeah, no, that's
my daughter does that for me. Thank God she's at an age where now I can go to her for advice, and she gives me good advice.
That's wonderful. Yeah, no, and I mean, I do the same thing with my partner, because I know that, well, you know, and it's a matter of trust, isn't it? You know, it's a matter of trust. And I think that you know that because the seekers who come to you, as I did today, they come to you because they trust your awareness, they trust your healing powers. As I said, that it's something about, I really liked the fact that I mentioned that what you are after has been through your own illuminations, your own study, your own research, and your own loving kindness.
Yeah, and I wrote that in a letter today because I rarely read or watch or click on anything, because I want to get my information from a source that's reliable. And to me, that's my higher universal life force energy. So by walking in the woods, by going to the beach, by looking up, I get all the downloads I need to find direction in my life. And that's why I think it's really important for us not to watch the news, not to be swayed anyway, because your higher self, your intuition, that's what it is wise. It knows you more than anybody else. And it will give you this, gosh, it's a freedom. It's a freedom to have your lights on, to know where you're going and that it's going to benefit you. When you're led astray, because when these are closed, you're easily manipulated into doing things you may not want to do. So, you know, that feeling, it just doesn't feel good and you don't know why.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the one you want to listen to, right? So we can only keep that on when we spend time alone, find out, like your meditation or watching the birds, bird watching. That's, if you want to have an intuition, just sit with some birds.
Yeah. Oh, I watch them all the time. I've got them out on my deck. Like, I think there are six feeders, you know, and right now I just said, I said this morning, to Dawn, I said, I'm my pets. I'm not feeding my pets. I feel terrible because the deck is filled with ice and snow. So I'm going to bundle up and take my shovel and go out there and clear a path, because I like washing them, because there's something about the way they share. I watched this. I had one woodpecker, husband and wife, and he would go to the feeder, and she would stand there on the tree and he would go back and feed her. And I just thought, thank you so much for this. I just appreciate the woodpecker.
It warms your heart. Doesn't it warm your heart?
No, it was beautiful. Yeah, it was like, yes, I really had a lot of trust in their beauty and their love for one another. And that went on for days. And she looked like she was she was getting fatter and fatter. So I think they went off to their nest and had their little babies. You know, I haven't seen them in a while because they're probably, you know, they probably went through that cycle. But anyway,
Yeah.
it's all good. It's all good. And we have to say goodbye. But it's been, you know, it's been joyful. And don't forget, one of the things that we have to tell everybody, don't forget to look up, please. You know, and when I went out there today to blow the snow off the car for the 10th day in a row or whatever, and I was grumpy, and then I thought, no, look up, and I did, and there it was, you know, whatever's out there, whatever's up there in all of its glory, and it just accelerates my spirit. Thank
And
you.
the more we look up, the more there's things to look up and see. So it's an amazing journey. Thank you, Anthony.
All right, me too. All right, so you take care, and I'll see you in a week's time, God willing. Okay, take good care of yourself.
Right,
Bye,
bye-bye.
everybody. Bye, everybody.